What if our lives could be cut open by taking a knife to them? Our skin, this membrane of cells and fur, is such a precarious thing. And yet it holds in our secrets, our intestines, all of our pain cross-hatched into train tracks. If we cut ourselves, we bleed. We remember again how futile it is to march on for happiness. What if we could do the same to our jobs, to our customs? Just cut them open and humiliate them. For example, what is after C? What comes after the copious blue? The blue that licks us clean with its wash, its salty, spiny breath. What comes after it has decided to leave us? Will we learn to let red dust or oil clean off our old habits instead? I wish our bodies were like word bodies. Words are ships with hard exteriors, with clear, clean accessibility. You can stick your hand down a word's tidy throat and pluck some of her memory, or even place an old keepsake inside of her stomach. Our bodies are like a bay stirred up after rain. The movement, the waviness of them keeps them from ever giving shelter to another. We cannot be stuffed the way a word can be stuffed. We cannot bunker in each other the way we do in our earth's caves. If I could, I would stretch my windpipe, clean up the Luke slime, which makes the body such an unpleasant hotel, and let you take or leave a gift. Lawrence Ferlinghetti said, "Poets and painters were the bearers of light. Somehow I can't give up the gossip in my blood telling me that our genes are made up of light, that we can be traced to the sun, each one of us an ancestor of luminous glitter. It's no wonder we have such trouble keeping our feet on the ground. We were made to perforate through fence slats and summer leaves, piercing water without weight." They have a natural fling about them, these joyous ropes they call bodies. They are so vulnerable, so unabashedly wounded. I am learning how to forgive and how to exalt by watching them, how their forgiveness is not held in the hands. Instead, it blows across the face and washes the brain clean of all memory. It's in their total lack of gracefulness, in their raw, untethered bodies with arms and legs each having their own agenda. When they move, I am watching a village grow around 4 different religions. And it's out of these same spineless wigglers that the source of tenderness is sleeping. Their tender spots lay open like meat waiting on a sill, exposed, getting softly rancid. The sun raising into their hope, burning up their logic, and all the while the glass of their minds stay open. It's this wildness of their bodies that keeps them believing in more, and consequently dissolving the concept of their limitations. When they run, their tongues hang out and sits on the sides of their dewy faces. When they run, they are equal parts celebratory and terror. The sight is enough to raise the hairs on your arms up in gratitude. To know that humans can fill up in this way, allowing the flood of feelings to mix and combust and then pour freely through the teeth and the eyes. It somehow makes all of this living worth it. From now on, I will only eat snow. I want my heart to turn to liquid and sharp like ice melt. It's not that I want to hide from what I feel. On the contrary, I want my heart to step out for once out of its warm bath and into the Atlantic. I want this heart of mine to go skinny dipping on winter's night and feel its teeth jet into its brain, feel every pore grow a needle so that for a moment it is a frozen porcupine. This diet will clean by its frost all of the doubt that lays like soot in my gizzards. White feathers will wash the sulfur of brick. Nothing will be left behind. Every organ will be abandoned, the windows banging in the wind. Kissing, mystical thing. It can hear the ancients from their hairy-backed plains howling through the portals, which branches out through the throat and ends in the pink living room of our mouths. I can imagine no sacrifice igniting more agony/euphoria than touching our cracked mouths. Our two deserts will heal the fault line of the cosmos. This way to know God and what slaves we are to her. Today she said, Indian accents are like little drums. I eavesdropped on the men crossing the street and agreed. All of us must have a miniature instrument sewn into our throats. I'm sure I've heard a flute or a violin spout through someone's teeth, a musician practicing with their window open. I am religious for wind. Each time it picks up around my ears, I remember my spirit is real and my body is illusory. This body, which the world weighs upon like a black hole, disappears. The wind flows through us like rain through a screen, and it proves us wrong. This body cannot be crushed, for it is moving in waves and parts and can be blown away like dust. What is there to worry about if we are scattered across our pasts and our futures? The body is a miracle of science and can fill up more than it holds. I dream violently for your beehive mouth to be near mine, so much that my hair is falling out. My teeth are turning into sponges, giving up on their blades because they cannot sink into you. The body is trying to hold an ocean for you inside a sink. We say or do things that are so wrong that there is nothing to forgive. We both know that no confession will dull its scream. You can only surrender to its monster. There is no sun big enough to evaporate the wicked sounds or seconds. There is no sea fresh enough to hide its smell. Instead, we bet on our death, gulp down the soot, and let our organs go black. Sometimes there is no way to turn garbage into another thing, and all we can do is pray while we dig its grave, bury it in our cherry blood, and wait for time to turn it small.